The Israeli-developed pill vaccine against COVID has been given the green light to start clinical trials in the days ahead in South Africa. Israel's Oramed Pharmaceuticals now actively enrolling patients for its Oravax pill. Phase 1 trials will soon begin. The South Africa trial may run concurrently with the Tel Aviv trial. The inventors believe that this single-dose pill vaccine will be suitable for use either as an initial inoculation or a booster. The pill does not need to be stored at especially low temperatures. No need anymore to have professionals administering injections. This ease of distribution, the preference of people to take a pill rather than multiple shots, might be a game changer to dramatically increase vaccination rates. And with me now is the CEO of Oramed Pharmaceuticals, Nadav Kidron. Nadav, thank you so much for being with me. Congratulations on today's announcement that clinical trials will soon begin. Talk to me, if you can, first about a timeline here. This is going to be phase 1 clinical trials. When exactly might they start in South Africa? How long will this round last? And what's the next step after that?
Okay, so this is the story. We are starting now. We got the approval, which is a dramatic approval, that we can start a clinical trial in South Africa. What's going to happen next is that this is going to be a proof of concept, very fast, 24 subjects. And then we want to move into a phase 2 in another country potentially, which will allow us to get the emergency use approval. So we want to make sure that we can get it approved as soon as possible so people out there can get this oral vaccine ASAP.
What is your realistic hope for having this pill be authorized under emergency use? What is your realistic timetable?
So you want the realistic or optimistic?
Give me both.
I think in a good scenario, we're talking about next year, depending on the country. You have to remember that with the COVID-19, it's the first time in history that we actually got countries that approved it without waiting for the FDA or World Health Organization. So what we want to do is we want to get it into a country which we already started speaking to that will allow us an emergency use approval after phase 2 that could happen later next year.
You excited?
Very excited. You have to remember, it's something that can be one-stop shop, that people will take one oral COVID-19 vaccine, no need for boosters, be immune against all the variants. It's not the next generation, it's the ultimate generation of vaccines.
Talk to me about why people would choose this pill option. We have Pfizer, we have Moderna, even Johnson & Johnson and others. There's now a proven years-long track record with these injections. Why would people want to take a pill instead?
So the advantage of the pill is a few folds. Number one, ease of use. A survey that was done in the United States, 19 million people said that they would take an oral vaccine and they're not going to take an injection. Number two, logistically, it's easier. You don't need a professional to administer it. Everybody can just take it at the ease of their home or wherever it is. But I think much more important than that, when you talk about an oral vaccine, there's a huge advantage because you have less side effects. And with our oral vaccine, and this is, I think, the biggest thing, is one-stop shop, meaning you can take the vaccine and you are going to be protected against all the existing and potentially future variants because it's made out of 3 proteins and not only 1. Plus, you don't have the whole waste of billions of syringes and plastic and all of that. So I think you're looking clearly at something which is superior to the existing vaccines.
Is this going to be a game changer? And everyone uses that phrase, but realistically, could this be a game changer, particularly in developing countries who don't have the syringes, who don't have the ability to store at sub-zero temperatures, who don't have enough trained personnel? In Africa, in some Asian nations and elsewhere, could this really be a game changer because of how easy it is?
Exactly. You're talking about Africa. We got a call from someone in Africa, and he said, logistically, we cannot move the Pfizer from one village to another, and the Africans are opposed to take an injection. He said, if you can give me something that I can easily get it out, I don't need someone to administer it, and people are willing to take it, that can literally change the face of Africa versus this epidemic, the virus.
Nadav, I'm not a smart man, so a simple answer here, if you could help me out. But the way this will work, is it similar to the mRNA process that we are now used to hearing about with Pfizer and Moderna? Is this mRNA? And do you believe it will be as effective as we have seen from Pfizer?
So it's not mRNA. This is called a VLP technology. And the hope is that it will be more effective than Pfizer. And I want to emphasize that point. The idea here is that the Pfizer and the Moderna and the others are only basing it on one component of the virus, which is the S spike. What we are doing here is something that's made out of three components. So think about it like three shields against the virus. So even if it goes through one, we have the other two. And that's why I think this VLP technology with the three proteins in it can potentially be, as you use the words, a real game changer.
All right, Nadav, thank you so much for being with us on I-24 News. Great to have you. Good luck with the upcoming clinical trials.
Thank you very much. Nice being here.